I just got texted by a customer. He goes, I'm getting stonewalled by my insurance company because we have to replace the wiring and we have to replace the roof, and they're not going to give me a regular insurance policy. A lot of agents think that, oh, well, we can't get insurance. Well, yeah, you can. You do builder's risk.
Interesting.
So builder's risk policy.
I hope you guys have watched this and listened to this to the end, because that was the aha moment right there. I think you just saved some deals for some people right there, put some money in people's pockets.
I always ask the question of a real estate agent when I meet them, and I say, have you ever done renovation financing before? Oh yeah, I did one a couple years ago and it was a nightmare. And I'm like, okay, what happened? Well, it took 6 months to close.
For the loan?
For the loan to close.
Interesting, okay.
And that tells me they were working with a lender that goes, yeah, I do renovation financing. The next question should be, how many have you closed?
Hello, RWorld. Welcome back to another episode of RWorld Talk. We are here this morning with Todd Fogel from Rate. It's either Thursday evening and you guys are RWorld members tuning in, or it's Friday morning and hopefully you are on your way to the mayor's breakfast. But we wanted to welcome Todd. Todd, thank you for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Todd, your path into the mortgage industry is quite unique. We're going to get to hear a little bit about that, but I understand you were recruited from retail management. Why don't you share that story and explain how it shaped the way that you work with clients today?
Well, I've always been in customer service. When I was in high school and I was 15, I lied and said I was 16 when I actually looked 12. And I worked at Gazzoli's Pizzeria at 163rd Street Mall when it was still an open air mall. And then during college, I waited tables. And then after college, I went into retail management. And there was a woman that came in every day. Her husband was one of my coworkers, and she worked for World Savings. And she thought that my customer service was a benefit and would benefit being in the mortgage industry.
Oh, really?
Real estate is a service industry.
Mm-hmm.
We're always attending to people's needs, listening to them, making sure they're feeling heard, anticipating their wants or their needs up front. And in the mortgage business, that's what we have to do. You have to listen and you have to make a customer feel heard and that their needs are being met.
Sure. Well, you're certainly doing that. We're going to talk about you're in a very niche business as far as the mortgage industry is concerned. Renovation financing, which I think not a lot of people know much about, and certainly in the last few years, I think it's been vastly underutilized.
Yeah.
We're in a market now where I think that this could really get a lot of buyers back into the pool. We've got affordability issues, so maybe getting a renovation loan is a way that somebody could get into a less expensive home and do the work themselves, because once somebody's already gone in and done the work, now they want to get a huge profit out of that work that they've done. So renovation financing a lot of times can seem intimidating to buyers and even some real estate agents. I know realtors that have never gone down that road with a customer of theirs, don't really know anything about renovation financing. So what are some of the biggest misconceptions about renovation loans that you'd like to sort of set the record straight in regards to?
Well, a lot of real estate agents and customers feel it's for major renovations, properties that are in terrible condition, really bad condition, and that's not the case. I always say renovation loans can be used for needed repairs, desired improvements, failed inspections, open permits, code violations, or even to add square footage or a pool.
Okay.
So if you're just doing cosmetic fixes, need desired improvements, that ranges from anything: painting, flooring, windows, redoing a kitchen. So it doesn't have to be that property that's in terrible shape.
Okay. I didn't know that you could use a renovation loan to put a pool in.
Yes.
And here I thought I knew everything about real estate. That is one thing I did not know.
And pool contractors down here in South Florida are tough because they want to be paid quickly.
Right.
So it's a fine tune to put in a pool with a renovation loan, but it can be done.
Can be done. So talking about misconceptions and continuing on that thread, is it true? I've heard this. I don't know if maybe it's something that went away, but is it true that you need 3 quotes and from contractors, and those contractors need to be tied into the company that you're working with? Is that still
not the case? So under FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and now even under VA, you do not need 3 quotes. I suggest getting 3 quotes, and you don't want to choose the cheapest guy. You want to choose the guy that you want to have coffee with every morning because you're
Sure.
going to see this person every day in your house.
They're going to be in your kitchen while you're making
Yeah.
your
So you don't want, he was the cheapest guy, but he was really hard to work with. No, you want to find the guy that you are going to like to work with. And you don't have to present your lender 3 quotes. You have to choose 1 quote. So I suggest get a couple bids and make your decision. But as a lender, we only need to see 1 quote.
Okay.
They don't need to be on an approved list. VA used to have to be a VA certified contractor.
Okay.
And that's not the case anymore. As long as they're licensed and insured within the state and their license matches their insurance, matches their bid, we can work with them.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. What if you did not want to go through a contractor? What if you were handy and wanted to pull homeowners permits and install your own kitchen from IKEA and that sort of thing?
And I get that a lot because some of the programs do allow for self-help. But I always say self-help kind of muddies the water
Okay.
because as a lender with this financing under FHA or Fannie Mae, we cannot pay the borrower for doing his own work.
Interesting.
Okay. So if the borrower says, well, I'm a contractor and I can do my own work. Well, if we're not paying you for your labor and we're only paying you for materials, how are you earning money to pay for your mortgage?
Ah, interesting.
So it just muddies the water, and it becomes cleaner if they have a buddy that will be the qualifier, write up the repair bid and sub out the work to them.
Okay.
And then on paper, we can pay in the mortgage for labor and materials.
Interesting. So let's continue on this thread. I want to get as much out of you with the time that we have. So let's take this scenario. Is this only for a home purchase that you're getting a mortgage with the renovation loan tied to it?
Not at all. And in today's market, when people are staying in their homes and have good interest rates and they go, oh, I don't want to get out. I don't want to buy a home. It's going to be a higher interest rate. And I like my house. But now with COVID, people are working from home and I see refinances. So it works the same way where we would refinance, pay off the first mortgage, add the repair costs to a new first mortgage all into one mortgage.
Interesting.
So you can do it for a refinance also. And it's for owner-occupied, second home, and investment. A lot of misconceptions is people think it's just owner-occupied properties. It can be for second homes or investors.
So if I were to go and talk to a customer that had a really outdated 1990s styled home with lots of oak cabinetry and all that kind of stuff, we could always send them your way and say, you know what, you might want to go and get a couple of quotes to see what we could do to get this house market ready by doing the renovations before we actually list.
Correct. And that's a good thing. And I get a lot of agents that do that where the customer says, well, I'm not really ready to list and I'm not going to get top dollar. I think we want to stay in the house for a couple of years. They refinance and renovate, put in the brand new kitchen, change the flooring, update the house. Then they come back to you in a couple of years and they put it for top dollar.
Interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? Right now in the market that we have, every sort of nuance I think should be looked at. But speaking about that, how are market conditions, including tight inventory, higher prices, how is that affecting the demand right now for renovation loans?
So when you show a house, you get a customer, you sit them down and you say, what's your wish list? I want granite counters. I want stainless steel appliances. I want marble floors. I want. And you're narrowing down the inventory and you're showing them 2 houses.
Right.
Whereas taking on a fixer-upper is going to open up the inventory. Now you have a lot of options where they can look at a house that needs a little TLC and be able to customize that to their needs and their functional wants for that house.
Sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense and certainly would open up, like you said, a lot more inventory if we're looking at things that aren't necessarily already done to the nines. Maybe you want something that's got where they've done the kitchen already, but you hate the flooring. Hey, it's okay. We don't need to have the marble floors. We'll put them in ourselves.
And when you walk into a house, how many times they go, oh, hate the kitchen, hate the floors, hate the paint.
Every single day, Todd. Every day.
And all that's fixable. And a lot of people can't see past it to see past, oh, I don't like the curtains or I don't like their, look past it.
Right.
A blank slate. When we looked at a house 20 years ago, I saw a house and I told them I wasn't feeling it. And I said to the real estate agent, get me a floor plan. And he's like, get you a floor plan. So I got the floor plan, changed little things, used a little white out, moved things around. And I said, we're ready to make an offer. And he said, well, I thought you weren't feeling it. And I said, I wasn't feeling that house, but I'm feeling this house. And I had recreated the floor plan and the footprint to what our needs were. And that can be done in a renovation loan.
I hope you guys are listening to this because we're giving some good tips here. I mean, when you walk into a house with your customer immediately starts picking the thing to death. If you know that you've got short inventory of exactly what that customer is looking for, start suggesting these things. Maybe you should be looking at getting a renovation loan. Go in there and do your own work because you know what? You might be settling for the brown kitchen when you really wanted the white kitchen, when all you have to do is just find whatever house has the right floor plan and put in whatever color kitchen you want. Are you noticing any trends in the types of properties types of properties or buyers who are drawn to renovation financing?
Well, with HGTV still at its high, Property Brothers, Fixer Upper, Hometown, all
Right.
these renovation shows, um, it's created the desire to take on a fixer upper.
Sure. We've had
Millennial,
a few of those guys on the podcast.
yeah,
They've come in and talked about all the renovations that they're doing.
and millennials and Gen Zs are looking for that opportunity to create their own home. I always say a renovation loan can create your dream home because you get to pick your color of your cabinets, your fixtures, your finishes, and all your needs. Moving a wall, changing, adding a pool, putting on square footage,
Sure.
all that can be customized when you go out on the search and houses are overpriced. The move-in ready houses are overpriced and it's a bidding war and people are overpaying for something where they can get in and be downgrading in the market, looking at a fixer-upper. Find the ugliest house on the best street.
Right. Yeah, and one note for all of you guys that may be listening here, if you want to pick your own kitchens and you want to pick your own floors and your own bathrooms, don't get crazy. You've always got to remember resale because I have walked into some houses and thought, my God, why did you put in a bright blue lacquer kitchen that only one other person in town is going to like?
Well, and as a renovation specialist, when I review the repair bid that I'm sending off to order the appraisal, I'll look at the kitchen and I'll go, "Ooh, need to reel it in a little bit." They're putting in the $70,000 kitchen
Yeah.
because the husband is a chef and I go, you got to scale it back because for resale, you're not going to get your dollar for
Right.
it. And we've got to make sure that there are comparables out there to be able to get the price that you need.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to go into a $400,000 neighborhood and you want to put in a $10,000 stove and a $7,000 refrigerator. Might be a little bit much. What's one renovation loan myth or horror story that makes you shake your head every time you hear it?
I always ask the question of a real estate agent when I meet them and I say, have you ever done renovation financing before? Oh yeah, I did one a couple years ago and it was a nightmare. And I'm like, okay, what happened? Well, it took 6 months to close. I'm like, what?
For the loan.
For the loan to close.
Interesting. Okay.
And that tells me they were working with the wrong lender. They're working with a lender that goes, yeah, I do renovation financing. The next question should be, how many have you closed? I've never closed one. Maybe think about using another lender. For me, I'm what is called a dedicated renovation lending specialist. I have 16 years dedicated experience. I don't do any other mortgages.
Sure.
So if I were to meet you, I'm not looking to tread on any relationship that you have with other lenders. Keep those, but work with someone who's a specialist. And that would be the same thing if you're working with veterans or you're working with down payment assistance. You're not going to just go to your regular lender that doesn't know much about that.
Sure.
You want to work with someone who's a specialist. So that big myth is it takes too long. Renovation loans should take 45 to 60 days to close.
Okay.
My record time with my lender is about 40 to 45 days.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is when you buy a house, you're going to have the house inspected. That's going to be the following week. Then you're going to marry your wish list with the home inspection to get a repair bid. That's going to eat up a week or two. The day I get the repair bid, and that's the tool that I use to order the appraisal, I count 45 days forward.
Okay.
So 45 to 60 days. And from there, we order the appraisal. So we're doing a future value based on the repair bid that is prepared to create the extra equity to lend the extra money.
So the appraiser is basically going to say what that house is going to be worth after all the repairs have been finalized.
Correct. As if the pool's in the ground, the new kitchen's in, the new roof is on. So
Understood.
if you're selling a house for $350 and the repair budget and bid is $50, I send that bid to the appraiser. He's looking to appraise that property in the future. Purchase price $350 plus repairs $50. He's looking to appraise it for $400. Then the buyer puts their down payment based on $400. As a lender, we're lending based on $400
Total amount.
We're closing on the house, and this is another myth or misconception, is we're closing on the house in its current condition and we're doing the repairs after closing. I get a lot of real estate agents go, oh, the repairs have to be done before closing. The repairs are done after closing. So at closing, you walk away, you get your commission, you're paid, and the borrower stays with the lender who has their own disbursement center, and we project manage with them afterwards.
Is that $50,000 that they are getting for the renovations? Is that money, obviously it's, I guess, sort of held in escrow and then the contractor is being paid out from that. Is there a certain expectation on timeline that the repairs are going to be finished, or is it open-ended?
Absolutely. So we are not handing them a check at closing.
Okay.
Here's 50,000, go fix your
Right.
house.
And then nobody does anything to the kitchen.
Nor is this an equity line where they're getting their own little checkbook and writing out checks. We hold money back in a draw center and we disperse money as the contractor does work. We talk to the contractor ahead of time and find out their timeframes to base on how long we're going to be holding that money.
Okay.
A roof takes less than a week to put in. They tear off a roof, they dry it in, they get it inspected, they cover the roof. It takes about a week. If I have a contractor that says, well, we're kind of busy and it's going to probably take us a couple months to get the roof on. Next, you don't want to work with a contractor that it's his life's work to install your kitchen. 9 months later, he's still putting in cabinets.
Right.
No, you want them to work quickly. And the faster they work, the faster they get paid.
Interesting. Okay. So you call yourself an edutainer.
Oh,
I love the edutainer tagline. What does that mean in the world of renovation financing, and how does humor play a role in your work?
I use humor in everything I do, as you see. And when I wrote my CE course during COVID, I had nothing better to do. So I said, I'm going to write a CE course. And I finally sat down. It took me months to get done. And when I submitted it to the Department of Education to get approved for the state of Florida, I had the opportunity to be virtual or live on stage. And I thought, in the box, I can't be as funny because I can't animate, the body. I can only animate the face. And I chose to do live.
Okay.
And when you're using humor, the material, instead of just delivering the material, now you're delivering it with humor. It engages the audience. It eases the tension on something that they don't understand or could be intimidating to them. And you have fun with the audience. I watch the audience. I'm like, I saw you roll your eyes. What does that mean? And they're like, oh no. When you get them to participate and you get,
It breaks down the walls.
it breaks down the walls.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I find that I'm on stage, it's like doing stand-up. I have a great time. And they're going to remember that funny story or that nightmare that I told about renovation financing more than the point that I was trying to make. I get little feedbacks. Oh, great class. We had so much fun. And they're entertained instead of like, oh God, I got to take a 2-hour CE class. And, and I'm going to just.
Everybody always dreads CE classes. It doesn't matter how funny we tell them that they're going to be or how much fun they're going to have. You just dread it.
And they check out, whereas I get them engaged and have fun with them. And I tell stories and Susan, what was that? You rolled your eyes. Tell everybody, stand up, tell everybody, and then get everybody mobbed and everybody's laughing and just have fun. And
Well, you just mentioned Susan. I've actually known you for a number of years, and you are an absolute
Susan.
regular at Marketing Madness down in Fort Lauderdale. I hope that you start doing the circle and getting to meet some more of our members. But why do you think that it's important to attend Marketing Madness? What do you get out of that?
I've been in the mortgage business, believe it or not, for over 30 years.
Okay.
And so I look to do stuff that's fun. I walk around wearing a t-shirt that says "Got Renovation." I better be having fun. I better be having fun. And so I was going to Leslie's in Boca,
Okay.
and I kept saying to her, when do you open Fort Lauderdale? When are you going to open Fort Lauderdale? Oh, no, we opened it, and it wasn't successful. And then Susie started it, and it's been very successful. And we have a core group that goes every week. Yeah, and it's fun. It's within my neighborhood. I get the open house list. I hit some open houses, get a free lunch. It's great.
That's fantastic.
And also I utilize it for, I'm looking for an electrician. I'm looking for a dry cleaner. And you get your 20 seconds to stand up and, tell about yourself, but then you get the time to network with other people. And I use it in everyday stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. When you teach your continuing education classes, what is the number one aha moment that you usually find realtors are walking away with?
The aha moment that they're walking away with that this is something that's attainable and approachable and something that they can utilize instead of, oh, it's a niche product. And I've heard horror stories and nightmare stories about it. Wow, this is doable. And working with me, they know that it can be done. I can get someone to the closing table or tell them pretty quickly, I can't get you to the closing table. But I have an organizing mind. And so I know my steps and I know how to methodically put it together. And the aha moment is that this can be a business building and income generating way to do business on properties that fail at inspection. Oh, I got bad news. The inspection came back bad. There's cloth wires. There's a bad roof. And they go, forget it. I don't want to do it. I'm walking away. Wait, you still like this house? Do you want to know a way you can finance it? And it puts the real estate agent in the know because they're knowing something that their competition doesn't know or isn't utilizing.
Okay, so that actually is a very interesting point. So you go to a home, client likes the home. You do find out that there is cloth wiring. That's an insurance issue. You've got no life left on the roof, another insurance issue. How is it that you're able to get them to the closing table with this renovation loan and repair those two big ticket items that give you insurance problems?
Yep.
How is it that you're able to close those and get them to the finish line and get them the house that they
Good
want?
question. It's funny. I just got texted by a customer. He goes, I'm getting stonewalled by my insurance company because we have to replace the wiring and we have to replace the roof, and they're not going to give me a regular insurance policy. So customers would need to get what is called a builder's risk policy.
Okay.
It is a temporary policy while the house is under construction. And typically, lenders want to see a 6-month policy to allow time and not have to renew because the work isn't done. And if the work gets done before 6 months and we can put an end policy on, most insurance companies will prorate and do a credit. So
Interesting.
builder's risk policy.
Okay. I hope you guys have watched this and listened to this to the end because that was the aha moment right there.
That's really important because a lot of agents think that, oh, well, we can't get insurance. Well, yeah, you can. You do builder's risk.
There you go. Well, I think you just definitely saved some deals for some people right there, put some money in people's pockets. Okay. So that being said, a couple extra things. I'm going to ask you about your hidden gem, which we do with every person who we've had on the show thus far. Always cool to hear some little South Florida hidden gem. But let's talk about one last thing first. You have been, I've bumped into you several times. What am I going to get on the podcast? What am I going to do on the podcast? And we've always got this list of people that keeps on growing and growing. So I just want to tell you guys who are listening, tuned in right now, if there is somebody that you want to have on this podcast, somebody's got a topic, somebody's got a story to tell that you want to know more about, please have them get in contact with us because we are always looking for additional guests. Sometimes it takes a little while in order to get you into the shuffle. But I'm glad that you were here to sit with us today. Before we ask you about your hidden gem, why don't you tell the audience, that's your camera right there, how do they get in contact with you? Is there a website that they should go to, or how do they get a hold of Todd?
Best way to reach me is on my cell phone, and it is 954-868-7015. And I always end every conversation with a client, with a real estate agent. If you have any questions about anything we spoke about or didn't speak about, I am not untouchable after 5 o'clock or weekends. You'll pick up the phone and call me. So if you think of something that you forgot to ask me in the process of us talking that day, pick up the phone and call me. I can't answer my phone. I can't answer my phone. But if you text me, hey, I spoke to you this afternoon and I forgot to ask you this, I'll respond to you. Or if you're standing at an open house and you're looking at it and you go, I wonder if this would work. And one other aha moment that I want to add before we cut off is I see so many agents listing properties cash only. And I do a fun little thing. I go onto Redfin and I'll see those. You can refine your search for fixer-upper properties. And I'll call and say, you listed it cash only. Oh, we can't get financing. Why not? It's got a bad roof. Yes, you can. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. This is what I do for a living.
Right.
You can finance these properties. And one thing, and this is a good takeaway for people listening, don't list a property cash only. Take that out. Change and add one sentence. This property is eligible for renovation financing for needed repairs or desired improvements. Call for more information. And that's going to open up, instead of they look cash only, next.
Right.
But if you tell them it's eligible for renovation financing, it's going to open up the phone calls and it's going to open up the looks.
And it's a listing agent.
Instead of swiping, swipe right or swipe left,
Yeah.
it's going to open up the looks.
No, that's a great tip, because you're cutting out a huge pool of buyers that maybe the buyer's agent doesn't realize that renovation financing is even a thing. So that's your education moment that you could tell the realtor on the other side, we do have options here. Why cut them out of the mix? Their customer may be willing to do renovation financing.
Yep.
So we asked this of everybody on the show. Why don't you tell us about your favorite South Florida hidden gem, whether it be a restaurant or a park or anything that you love about living in South Florida?
I'm going to do something different. And hidden gem that I always love to recommend is In Living Color Nursery on Griffin Road. It's been there for about 35 years.
That place is fantastic.
They just redid it. So during the summer months, they're slow, and there was a whole production team that went in there and created pathways. They have a bonsai garden, water features, shade house, and you're stepping out of time to a tropical oasis. And I always use it to kind of reset my mood. Something's going on during the week or whatever, I'm going to go to Living Color and just walk around. Or if I'm looking for a specific plant, you'll find it there. And they have such wide variety, and it's not just a tourist spot, it's pure South Florida.
Wow. Awesome place. Certainly check it out if you have not. I got a feeling that Todd here is going to end up with David Stack talking about plants at the end of the day here. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Hopefully you got a couple of nuggets, some aha moments with my talk with Todd, and we will see you right back here next Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, right here on RWorld Talk.